Canada, Canada. Yes, me Judy said I hear content at chat. I'm based in Canada. My name is Angie, and you can trust me with all the information that you need to be able to travel or immigrate here to Canada. Canada is a beautiful country. It's a multicultural country. The diversity, the inclusion, for real, it's amazing. Oba Canada, ushia nkrofo mu free amaman bebree ababishia krom hanoma omobo bra anaso omode support aban nankasa se ebetumpon. So you are never going to be alone. You are actually never going to feel alone because what you remember ubehu India ni kakra, ubehu Pakistani ni kakra, Iranian kakra, ubehu Filipino, China ni, Korea ni, ubehu Jamaica ni, Kenya ni, ubehu ahaye kra Ghana ni. So in a way you don't feel alone wherever you find yourself here in Canada. And so if you are looking at or thinking about any country to immigrate to for whatever reason, to visit, to study, to work, please choose Canada. Now, I'm going to talk to you about pathways you can use to immigrate to Canada. We have the visit visa, we have the study in Canada, and then we have the work permit. Now, with the last option, I do not really want to speak about it because it doesn't really work for a lot of people living outside Canada, even though there are immigration programs particularly directed at bringing in foreign workers to help in certain specific areas here in Canada. But let's talk about the common ones or the easiest way to come to Canada, the visit visas, and then we have study authorization visa. Now, with the visit visas, we have so many reasons under it that you can use to come to Canada. Like the name depicts, your only intention is to visit Canada. That's it. I have no other way to explain this to you than to let you know you are supposed to visit Canada. And at the end of the day, you go back to your home country. Go back home, wherever you come from. In as much as you can visit Canada on a visit visa, there are also legally ways to stay or remain in Canada if you want to, using the visit visa as an entry base or an entry point to enter the country Canada. We have tourism. We have, even when you want to seek medical attention, you can use visit visas to visit. We have family and friends visitations. There are so many things under visit visas you can use as a purpose to enter the country. So know what works for you in every scenario or situation and apply now. I believe the processing fee for visit visas are around $185 for biometrics and $100 for the main visa processing fee. So it's not quite a ridiculous amount. It is quite affordable if you have everything in check. But baby, are you free banner there? The entire make a train say in baby na I am for pay mammy and I mean to be new and I'm on school ni center. No, they're comma agents be now I 100,000, I 200,000 for a visit visa. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Just say be at say the music mona because we on my only bank statement only share into a comma agents no agents they take control or in charge of all these documentations as secure visit visa amount because when himself bananya there so beko into rema one time and yeah usika be watu so be 10 years da honum kra bosia bi kra kwa kopena de ama agents no no watimi awura konim but anya ne kwan so no. Like I said, visit visas cost just 185 Canadian dollars and that's it. You just have to wait for immigration to process your visas. If it gets approved, you buy your tickets, pack your bags, and you visit Canada. If it doesn't, you can try another time. Again, with Canada, you do not go for interviews like the United States of America. You only do your application online or in person on paper submitted, and when it is assessed or reviewed by an immigration officer, they correspond with you through your portal or through an email to check your portal and know what is going on in your account. Now, with a lot of visit visas, you are not required to do medicals because you are expected to stay in this country for less than 6 months, even though you can always extend it. And so they do not really feel like in any case, you need to do any medical background checks or anything of that sort because your stay here is only temporarily 6 months. Let's move on to the study authorization visas. If you have any questions, let me know under the comment section and I'll come back to address it. But with the study authorization visas, it is much more of a longer stay as compared to the visit visa. It also gives you a heads up or a structure of how to deal with things here in Canada because you are coming here to study. You already have a program in place. You know the school you're going to study. You are much more aware of the expenses or the financial obligations accorded to you as a student. So you have a head start, you have an idea of how this is going to feel. And trust me, there are immigration programs that can favor you or put you in that aspect of getting your PR if you use the study authorization visas, even though immigration doesn't promise any temporary resident permanent residency pathway or assuredly tell you that if you migrate here to Canada with a student authorization visa, definitely you're going to end up to becoming a permanent resident. No, it is all about processing. I would say any GD albinia ewo plan na wafa no se oba kuma ba besuade. Normally oba kuma besuade as a student, you just have to have a plan that you are going to stay in school. As a student in Canada, you are required to study full time. If you don't understand the meaning of full-time studies, it also means that you are required to engage actively about 80% in school, concentrating on your studies and successfully completing it. Okay, now the other 20% can be your working hours or the ability to work off or on campus. The tricky part is that when you come to Canada as a student, you can only work 24 hours a week because, of course, your study permit also doubles as a work permit. It gives you authorization to work anywhere you want in your province or in Canada, provided that you are a full-time student. If you come into this country and you do not go to school, even though your study permit equally also gives you the authorization to work, you cannot use your study permit alone to work if you are not in school. I hope I'm clear, right? It is only when you are actively engaged full-time in your school or in your studies that you can enjoy that condition of having the authority to work as an international student. But then again, if you find any job or occupation that you can secure in your school, working within your school's confines as a teaching assistant, as a librarian, as whatsoever, as long as it is situated and positions are given by the school, you can work full time. You can work so many hours doing whatever you want to do in your school, not in someone's school, in your school, because the moment you work in another school that you do not study in, it is also equally considered as a limited amount of hours, just like you'll be working elsewhere in a store or other places. But as long as you're working in the school you study in, you can work full-time, any amount of hours you want. And that is why it is quite important for you to consider the programs you want to engage in or enroll in if you want to come to Canada as an international student, and what you can do within the school's confines and authority as a way to secure yourself any kind of job to earn some money to support yourself. Living here in Canada as an international student is not a joke. International means you are capable of affording your tuition fees and your cost of living, and it is not cheap. Currently, you need to be able to settle at about 23,000 Canadian dollars, I believe, as just for the cost of living for a year. And tuition fees also ranges from around, the cheapest you can get is around 6,000 Canadian a year. That is if you get the opportunity to enroll in such programs. And the highest tuition you can pay here in Canada a year is around 30,000 Canadian, depending on the kind of program you want to enroll here in Canada. So let's be real, let's be serious, let's consider so many things if you want to migrate to Canada. But then again, Canada is a very beautiful country. It is much more rewarding, and it is also very welcoming. You feel included, you feel good, and they have various pathways that can enable you to have your PR in a matter of time, only if you obey the conditions of your permit. I hope you understand, and follow me and then subscribe to my channels too. Thank you so much. My name is Angie.